Hello again, people. At Auto Assembly, of course, I got some figures that you might know as the Glacier Lord. Glacier Lord. So this isn't the one we're doing today. I wonder who we'll be doing in the future, though. We're going to be having a look at first the first one I got and played with, which was good old Tailclub, which is this box. So why not? Why not? Why don't we get into the future, the retro future, the future that I am looking forward to getting into a bit more? And let's start off this with Tailclub. So I don't know a theme tune for the Glacier Lords, but how about Glacier Lords? Glacier Lords! The retro future has arrived, people, and these are the three that are out. For the most part, and these are the three that I have. Tusker, Fangro, and the one we're looking at today, Tailclub. Now, good old Tailclub here is a Dedicurus, I think is what he's called. One of those old school, out-of-datey animals that you don't see nowadays, unfortunately. And I'm sure that makes a lot of people very sad. Tailclub and his lovely little animal friend have a really nice little paint scheme going on, and really shine out the awesome love that I have for Generation 1 toys. They've got some good colours and some pretty nice stickers on them. Now, in terms of articulation, let's have a look at the little animal here, and what can he do? Well, he can't do a lot, but he can look up like that, which isn't too bad. You can also make him look up at the neck, which pushes his back piece up and looks a bit weird. His front legs will move forward a little bit, but it's not going to help you at all. The backpack can come off because that's a foot, guys. It's a foot. It actually goes in quite well with these tiny little pegs. It's nice and secure, really, and quite smart on how it goes on. Back legs do not move, however, just because of the transformation, and the tail is one big piece, which you can pull out, because that's for talking about later. But it nicely slides in there once the legs are placed in, which I really like. I think that's a clever way of storing the tail. So you just lock it in through friction, and it holds in really well, and then the back goes on top and hides that all up nicely and makes it completes him, you know, makes him look good. He does have a hole in the top because I'm sure you guys know that this little robot can ride him. The least inventive on how to hide it, because it is just a hole in the top, but there you go. He can ride him and be like, charge! I don't think these are known for the speed though, but what you gonna do? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these hurtle down the old-timey places of Earth faster than a cheetah and stronger than a human bullet. I don't know. I didn't live back then, so I can only speculate. But something I don't need to speculate on is how this guy looks. He looks super G1, and I love it. Let's get a closer look on him. The detail is sharper than G1 toys, but very cool. Very G1-y styled head. This back piece here looks like it should be doing something, but it doesn't. And a nice little G1 sticker there. I like the colour placement on this guy. It feels nice. It's not my favourite coloured one, but there you go. The articulation, his legs can't go all the way back just because of how this gimmick works. They can go forward. And the best way to do this is, because they can bend forward for the transformation, it's better to do them one at a time than both at once. It feels like you're putting too much strain when you're doing them both at once. If you do them one at a time, it's a bit more controlled, I find. So let's do that with the second one. There we go. You have to have the arms down, and then you can flip the chest up. And that's pretty much him and his kind of chesty, head mastery, breast mastery, brain master kind of mode. So, you know, there you go. But what we should do here is take Tailclub and take his little animal friend and combine them. And once you have them combined, you have a delicious G1 styled robot, which I love. I don't think he's the best out of the three I have, but he has a lot of ticks. He ticks a lot of boxes for me, I find. And again, there's not a lot of backpack kibble, which I really appreciate. And because his style is all G1-y, his articulation won't wow you, but it wows me slightly. You can split his legs apart, and, you know, you can do the splits if you really want him to, or bend his legs outwards. Not really helpful, but it's there, I guess. Got a hole in the bottom for a fist, and what we can do is, we've got this little wobble here just because of how his legs work, so
I don't know, does this mean we've got like an elbow joint for an arm if we wanted? Maybe, I guess, I don't know. Pretty neat though, I like it. The arms can spin around, as you would expect. And we technically have an elbow joint, but it's not very useful because it's just for the transformation. And it looks kind of ridiculous when you try and bend his elbow. That's all of the articulation. We do have some missing stickers, but that's for a good reason. And that reason is, of course, because we've got the rest of them on the sticker sheet. I love the fact that there are some missing ones, and I'm not OCD enough to have them all on. I kind of like how old school he is. And this instruction book, again, is like, hey guys, do you remember old school instruction books? Because I do. They're really neat. I like these a lot. I mean, you don't need them because it's a G1 toy, but it's nice to have it and it feels good in the hand. And you get the artwork on the front, so that's always cool, if you ask me. And we'll briefly go over this awesome box, because the box is pretty badass, because these are the most wild combat team in the universe, if you don't know. And it's only for 16 and up because it's so complicated. I love all of the crappy kind of weird damage they've got on it, and everything about this screams just lovely G1, and that's what I really, really like about this stuff. I love the fact as well that on the front here we have this, I don't know, kind of squarey pattern, which my camera clearly doesn't like, but is very pleasant to mine eyes. And I also dig on the back we've got a silhouette of what the Glacial Lord shall look like. Because if you didn't know, this is a robot soldier that changes to a giant robot limb. Retro future. Because Andy loves it. Tailclub got some accessories. We have his foot here, which can be used as a shield, which I kind of like. You just poke it into these little ports here with a peg, and there you go. He's got a big old shield. Unfortunately, because of the way his arm goes, it can't usually go straight on. It needs to go on a very slight angle, even when you've got it at that kind of, angle. It can't go in straight, which is a bit of a shame, but it's, it's not it's not going to put you off, or at least I'd hope it wouldn't. We also have his tail, and you might suspect, well, that's not much of a club, but you can pull this bit off, which is kind of interesting. Hey, Andy, this ain't a club. You're right, well, what if I get his head, like nya, flip up this tiny little horn, and flip this part down, and then what we can do is there is a little port here, and there we go. We now have Tailclub's tail club, huh? Yeah, well, it goes in his hand nicely, and I was really worried that this was gonna, send him off balance and make him tip over, but he stands with it fairly well. I'm kind of surprised he's not just lurching forward. I'll give the team props for designing a big weapon like this and not have him lurch forward. I like this weapon just to smack people to death with. That's how I would go about it if I was a robot. You don't want a clean kill. You want to really make them suffer, I suppose. And the good thing is just getting the spikes at the right angle, and then you can just twist it so the tail is in the right direction. It's cool. But of course he can change into a limb, so let's take these bits off and change him into an arm. So here he is in his arm mode, and I hope that we get this nice kind of little elbow joint in another one of the figures, just so we have symmetry and he can move 2 elbows rather than 1, but I guess we'll see. He's a fairly successful limb, He is a Scramble City dude, so he can probably go on any of your Scramble City combiner teams. And of course, let's turn him into a foot. It's a real simple matter of just rearranging the head and flipping this down and then pushing his legs up, and that's really about it. And then obviously putting his foot on. And he's a fairly successful foot. I like the little toes and the pattern we have on the foot piece there. He looks neat. I like it. He does everything a leg needs to, i.e. stand up. And it's interesting mentioning that on the back here we have the stickers, which work really nicely, I will say. And we have a little hole here, and inside the hole we have the little main robot's head, because you don't need him in here, but every mode can accommodate him, which is really good. That's a thing that's carried across all of the retro future stuff. And of course the tail is for a weapon later on. So, Tailclub being the first one of these that I opened and played with, I was really blown away. I really like the stuff, but I'm a big G1 Transformer toy fan, so I'm a bit biased. He's not the best, I will say, out of the 3 I have, but he's a great starting point. Good colours, fun transformation, fun little robot. I would say grab him, but, there's still another 2 videos to watch, guys, so maybe you'll look at the other ones and think it's not worth it. I would hope that you would have your minds changed, but I guess I'll see you for Fangirl next time, guys. So, catch you later in the future, the retro future. That's gonna stick, isn't it?